Welcome to part 2 of Aftermath episode 13. It's the lucky one, for those that can count.
Oh.
Yeah, where we left off, unfortunately a little bit abruptly, thanks to accidentally hitting macro keys by the look of things. The party had found their way to the village of Ormskirk, which is where Jack hails from. It's a small village in mostly built by dwarves, although there are some humans and some elves around, and a dragonborn apparently, as they are living kind of under the mountain to sort of protect themselves from the wilderness around them. It's incredibly dangerous. They have found their way here, spent a night, got absolutely drunk out of their minds, the lot of them, except for those that didn't, which is about half the party. But those that did, more than made up for it. And I think we pick up with Jack having just been dragged back off to work by his boss, after being sort of unfriendly, made sure that he's okay. Roughly made sure he's okay? I don't know how you say it, but that. And
unable to work.
Yeah. Making sure he's, you know, okay. His boss isn't a bad person. Boss is a decent guy. As far as Jack knows, anyway. They don't know about the basement. And so... this is D&D, that actually could be a thing. And
yeah.
It's not. And so we will pick back up with... Mathias and Akane were heading off to the blacksmith, which is mysteriously where Jack works.
So, just to recap, the directions were 1 left,
It just triggered a bomb.
and then 3 to the right. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so...
How many doors before you go left?
Is this place obviously a grid?
Nope.
Then I'm actually gonna follow the directions.
How many doors did you have to go past before you go left the first time?
I don't know.
Because he did tell you.
Bloody hell, mate.
Roll an
I
intelligence.
expected to find a street.
See, it's not where I did not get my way back home.
Good. Okay.
Oh boy.
It was 4.
It was 4 doors. Are you
Those on
shitting
the
me
recording
or
will
what?
know if that's true.
So,
I
as
hate
you
Yargon.
you walk out the tavern, I assume, head down, start to
Yeah.
follow his directions. You count the doors down. 1, 2, 3, 4. You open the door. And there's a library.
Wait. Akane,
Yeah?
Very small
we're not
library.
going to the smithy yet.
It's a very small
step in.
library. There is some kind of a library there. So,
I
library.
follow.
It's
Mathias.
2 bookshelves. But it's about as much of a library as you're going to get around here. So you look up there. Do appear to be a number of tomes on the shelves. None of them chained to the shelves like you're used to. They have all sorts of titles. Do either of you read Dwarvish?
No.
What about Draconic?
Nope.
Elven?
No?
I do read Elven.
Okay, what about Abyssal?
No.
I read Vesztel.
Undercommon?
No?
And Deep Speech.
No. I think the better question is, what do you speak? And that's only common as Sylvan.
Oh my god, wait, what?
You don't get much as sorcerer.
What's your background?
I don't think he gets one from his background.
So yeah, it doesn't give him.
No, I didn't get much from a background either, yeah.
Yeah, there's some that don't. I'll check he's got that right. For the record, this is Brick's first D&D game, so there are a few mistakes. We just
Throw every hatred at him.
or don't because it's
Maybe don't. Jesus, Mac.
calm yourself.
Rage in the comments, we will get numbers and that will give us more traffic.
Yes,
Engage.
Everybody
Rage!
likes
Have you
drama.
seen the views in our
Everybody
last
likes
3 videos?
YouTube drama.
Guys,
Have you
Come
seen
on.
the views in the last 3 videos? 1,
Guys?
2, and one.
On topic,
Sorry.
please.
No.
No.
Please. So,
No.
as you look through, there are mostly unfamiliar characters around you, and unfamiliar words and languages. You do note a few books, one or two in Elven, the odd one in Dwarvish. Most of them, the ones that you can read, are in Dwarven, actually. We know neither of you speak Dwarven, do you?
Well, we'd recognize the characters, wouldn't we?
Yeah, but there are a couple of languages that use the... Yeah. So, you see a few in Elven. You do notice one in Abyssal, Mathias. Sort of in the top corner of the bookshelf.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Hello? Is anyone around here? I'll knock on one of the shelves.
There's no response.
Hello? You hear anyone, Akane?
Can I roll a perception?
Yeah, go for it. Advantage, it's hearing. No? 19? You don't hear anyone.
No, can't hear anyone.
There's these
What is
sort
this place just here unlocked?
looks that way.
Hold on, I pick up the book Abyssal?
As you reach out for the bookcase sprouts an arm, grabs you by the wrist.
Whoa, what the? I
And
tried to yank myself free.
yeah, no, it lets you. Doesn't stop you. Just doesn't let you grab the book. The arm sort of back into the bookcase.
Why did I think something like this was going to happen?
Yeah, I totally caught it. Welcome back, don't you?
Are you a mimic? Sod it.
All of the books are completely blank of the background sort of magic that it permeates everything. Can't see them, which would lead you to assume they are flux warded.
Good.
And the bookshelf is slightly magical.
Obviously.
Yargon, do I know about this? I'm curious.
Yeah, you would.
Okay, buddy, who owns you?
You're
Do
talking
you
to a
have a
bookshelf.
mouth? I'm gonna see if I can find someone on the street.
Okay. You go back out. You look around, and you sort of hail this. Not hail. That's the wrong word. You sort of walk up to this dwarven woman that's walking past.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah. How can I help
Would
you?
you happen to know who runs the library?
Nobody runs the library.
Nobody runs the library,
No.
other than the bookshelf with the arms.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's there.
What's up with the library then?
Oh, it's a library, isn't it?
It's not very useful if you can't read any of it.
Oh, sure you can.
Yeah, if I rest on the bookshelf, maybe.
Oh, what are you doing that for? Don't worry about Jeff.
Well,
He's
it
friendly.
It took my wrist.
Oh, did you ask?
You
You
chose.
don't just go grabbing his books. He's defensive over them.
Well, I'm
Nice and
not
friendly
used
once you
to-
get to know him.
I'm not used to bookshelves actually defending their books.
Oh,
Or
now you
having
know.
to ask a bookshelf.
Ask nicely next time. Rolls her eyes and just walks past you.
Okay, thanks for the tip. I'll head back to the library. I'm gonna stand in front of the bookshelf. That confused. Excuse me, do you mind if I have a look at that book in Abyssal?
It's a bookshelf. Doesn't respond to you.
I'll try and take it again.
You pick up the book. This is
Is
you.
there any?
As you look at
I
the
think this
cover.
whole campaign was designed to screw with Gav.
That is. Okay, that's mostly true. as you look at the book, and the cover of it simply says of ores and minerals in a vessel on the cover. And as you look through it, it appears to be a guide to basic stoneworking and ores and minerals that can be found in this area. It's written in a vessel for some reason.
Why is this in a vessel?
Yargon, can I take a quick look if I can see anything, a book that like describes those nice stones we have? It's crystals. So it's a long shot, but
Common and Sylvan, yeah?
yeah.
You don't read any of the languages of the books that are here.
Oh, right. I checked my background. I don't get any languages other than this.
Okay.
Oh shit. I'm gonna have common, Sylvan, and Elven. I'm gonna check for anything else I can read.
There's a few books in Elven that you can read.
I will put the book in Abyssal back
Mm-hmm.
and ask nicely one by one as I go to check the other books.
Okay. They're mostly about farming or about living in the Underdark or underground. There's a lot of things that sort of explain all of the kind of stuff. The most interesting book does explain a number of the creatures that can be found down here. It would take you some time to go through it. It's some of the creatures that can be found in this area that can be encountered underground, that make their homes in this kind of area, or that might become a problem. And the kind of crops you can grow down here are also described, and all that kind of good stuff.
I'll close the book, put it back. Well, we may need to come back here, but I do need to find a blacksmith. Dear bookshelf, where's the nearest blacksmith?
It's a bookshelf.
Thought so. I'm just gonna head on out.
Okay. You head on out. You walk out into the street, look around.
First person I see, I'll walk up to them.
Yeah.
Excuse me, could you point me to the blacksmith, please?
Yeah, that way. Points to the door. One down from the one you were looking at. It's 5, you rolled low. Take
Thank
over.
you very much.
That
I
one,
roll my
more
eyes.
lefts, some rights. One left, 3 rights, I think. You know it when you see it, hard to miss. You
That's what I heard.
walks past as a human. Human-like dude. Walks past, heads on into the chief's office.
Alright. Well, off to the blacksmith then.
Okay, so you make your way over to the blacksmith. It's a simple affair. Again, you see this outside this time. As you go through one corridor, you go through 3 more to the right, and you would have thought you'd have come back on this corridor you were just in, but you don't. You enter this large cavern that it kind of a head scratching, because this should be where that you just were. You didn't go up or down.
What the heck?
This should be where you just were, but it's it's a big sort of cavern, and it has it appears to be naturally formed.
Akane, are you keeping track of where we're going?
I think so.
There are
Well, I'm certainly
Can I keep
not.
track of where we're
gonna
going?
get lost.
there are a few hut-like structures dotted around, and in the centre, there is a blacksmith, a familiar figure, working on a tanning rack next to a big barrel. There's a big forge that, again, no smoke's coming out of. Apologise for the dogs again. And there's a half-elven man leaning against one of the sort of posts supporting the tanning rack that Jack's on, working away at, smoking something in a pipe.
Okay, I'll head on over and say a good morning to Jack. Hey Jack, had a good night?
Yeah, yes. Good morning.
Well, you sure seemed like it was one.
What are you guys doing? What do you want?
I want to buy things. Sir, are you the owner of this blacksmith?
Well, I might be. Sort of
Mathias Greenfield, a pleasure.
takes it puts the pipe in his mouth, and he, like, in his mouth, just holds it, goes to shake your hand. Elephant Roran.
No.
I'll also
Nice
shake
to
his
meet
hand.
you.
I'm Akane.
Always a pleasure. Takes a pipe
Right.
out of his mouth again.
I am looking for a few things. First and foremost, do you happen to make studded leather armor here?
It's very basic. We do. It's easy enough to make.
I could do with some.
I'm sure you could.
And then, second question. I don't have a hip flask. Do you sell any?
Now that's the kind of question I'd expect from a shorter fellow, if you take my meaning. Yes, we have a number of hip flasks. Do you have any preference in size?
Something that you could put on your hip without it getting awkward.
Oh, there are
No.
many things you can put on your hip without it getting awkward. And he
I just
stands
this
up
guy?
properly
love this guy.
and walks over to, like, the sort of
I raise an eyebrow at that.
He just looks up and
walks over to the like shop-like area, throws open the doors, kind of throws one open, and just boots the other open, and Jack, you'll swear you can hear the hinges cracking again. It's like the third time this week that you've had to replace a hinge on one of the door.
Just a sigh.
And he just marches in. And on the inside, it is filled with an array of swords and axes, and more axes, a mace, another axe, some shields, some armour, all sorts of everything, finely laid out. There's also, over in sort of one section, things like pots and pans and cutlery and other things that you would require that are made of metal for living in an area like this. It appears they make everything here. They have leatherworked stuff, and there's a very large selection of everything here.
I'm gonna go through those pots and pans looking for flasks and casually ask, so do you get many short-legged customers?
More than you'll find. In fact, you're looking in the wrong section, buddy. He sort of points with one pipe over to a cabinet. That one. We keep a key. Pulls it out, opens the cabinet, and indeed, it is a locked cabinet with just rows of hip flasks in it. Some leather-bound, some not. Clearly some that are like 3 or 4 fluid ounces, some that are like 8, some that are 10 maybe, and 12, you know, a whole selection.
Yeah.
You get basically whatever you're looking for here. Some that are really finely engraved, not real fancy. Some that's more just kind of an iron box that somebody's kicked into shape.
Jax walks in, opens a small compartment, takes out a hinge out of many of them, and walks out and replaces it, replacing the door.
Hinge and a screwdriver from the box that's kept behind the place. Just starts undoing it.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm basically gonna looking anything around the size of 7 ounces.
Yeah, there's a few. You can sort of take your pick in
Anything
fineness.
Anything that could be attached to my to a belt that comes with a handy patch for that, or a holster or whatever.
Oh, we have a few of those. We can sell you some kind of belt attachment if that's what you want separately.
Well, then I could be able to carry it on my hip.
That is,
Don't want it falling out of my back pocket.
of course not. Not sure I wouldn't want that, but whatever. Each to their own, I suppose. He sort of puffs away on his pipe, then points at one. This one's sort of the size we're looking for. Oh,
Excuse me?
the size you're looking for. You said 7 fluid ounces, roughly.
7 ounces-ish. Yeah.
A bit small for the likes of you, but yes.
We put the strong stuff in there.
He gives you a very questioning look at that. I'm sure you do. Now, are there any sort of fine company that you keep?
Fine company I keep.
Yeah, you know,
Vesztel?
Well, I like to think Akane
nobles,
is my
rich folk,
company.
the kind that prefer the more embroidered life.
No, but why are you asking?
Well, I'm asking if you want a very fine hip flask, or if you'd rather something more sturdy and built for the outdoors.
I'll have to go with something more sturdy and built for the outdoors.
Oh, that's a shame. I took you for a fancy one.
Why? Well, how fancy are your hip flasks?
Well, see for yourself. There are some that do appear to have even like gold inlay and stuff on them. Very fancy.
See, here's the thing,
And
I'm
some
a
that
bit of an
aren't.
outdoorsy man, but I appreciate some fine work.
Oh, everyone appreciates my hip flasks. He picks out a leather, yeah, one that's leather bound. Looks like it would hold up quite well. Pulls out a small sort of canvas type bag thing that you can has a belt attachment and you can put it in, go on your belt. This the kind of thing you're looking for?
How fancy is it? The hip flask?
It's pretty plain.
It's about the right size, but the fancy ones have clearly caught my eye at this point.
That's what I like to hear. And he puts it back, pulls out a different one. Again, still looks pretty rougher, more like it can definitely take a beating, but at the same time it's got some intricate carvings on it, some runes in what are probably Dwarvish, and some other runes in Sylvan and Elvish alphabets that you recognise. No, not runes, but scriptures written across it. Just, it appears to have...
Do you mind if I have a look?
Well, absolutely. And he hands it over to you. It appears to have some
I'll
kind
read
of...
it.
some very basic story on it. A tale of some drunkard, and on the back there's a drinking song.
It's a tale of
What
Gavin.
language is a drinking song in?
All three. It like
Yeah, which one? Sylvan, Common, Dwarven?
Sylvan, Elven, and Dwarven.
How much for this one?
Oh, that one's about 20 gold.
Okay. What about... And I point over at one of the more fancy ones. That one.
Like the most fancy one?
Mm, how over the top is the most fancy one?
Very.
Like, I don't mind. I
Like
don't
Dwarven
mind
royalty
some...
level.
Okay, no, we're not taking that. I don't mind some gold on it, but I don't need gemstones sticking out everywhere.
Not
Actually,
gemstones
I
sticking
can't
everywhere.
do those.
None of these have gems in them.
Good. So something with gold inlays. Let's go with that.
Okay. You
But
see one?
not
It's got
top
a...
of the line.
It's quite a plain pattern. It's got what appears to be a gold sort of inlay in this very square pattern that covers it, and it appears to almost look like some kind of archway or a tunnel when you're looking at it. You're not kind of sure. It's quite fancy, and you find it out when he goes, "That one, that's about 3,000 gold, that'd be."
Excuse me.
Well,
Sorry.
well, you see, that's a very fine hip flask, that one. Enchanted, if you will.
Enchanted, you say?
Oh, but of course.
Now you are talking my language. What kind of enchantments are we talking about?
The kind that'll hold twice what you'd put in it.
I just look it over.
Does
It's
appear to have
quite
some runes
interesting.
very delicately hidden inside the
Any
Gold
other
inlay.
enchantment you have?
well, not really. It's the most common enchantment for hip flasks. It's the most favourite one. There are a few others, simple ones that heat or
Well,
keep your liquor cool. As some people
Oh.
prefer it that way. Although
Cool
we found,
liquor.
yes,
Well, if there's no ice in it, I suppose it's fine. I'm just gonna start looking. Any of these fancy ones that aren't enchanted?
Well, there's this one. He points at a different one. It's about maybe 200-300 gold.
Alright then, what does it look like?
It looks pretty similar. The engravings on it, the like gold filling and stuff, it's not quite as fine, it's not as intricate, but it's still pretty damn good looking. It also appears to have on the, what the hell do you call it, the top on it, appears to have a stamp embroidered on it.
A stamp?
Yeah, like stamped into the top of it.
Yeah.
And it just says Ormskirk Blacksmith on it, and it's like a logo.
Pretty nice. Yargon, I just want to point out, a regular flask or tankard costs 2 copper pieces, mate.
I know. This is a blacksmith.
Not regular though.
In a dwarven village, and most of these are significantly deliberately expensive because he is making them for people who will pay that much. Because it's dwarves, they're one-upping each other. That's what they do. One-upping each other with hip flasks.
Oh my god.
This is so extra, it's just a hip flask. Oh my gosh.
I'm just... Oh my god. I'm gonna head back to some of the more plain-looking ones. Maybe a tad bigger, a tad sturdier looking.
Alright.
Just a leather-bound one.
Leather-bound one that is pretty plain and kind of quite sturdy. You can get one for like 20-30 gold.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm gonna buy the leather-bound one. I'm gonna buy the one with the song on it, because that's for Sauriv.
Okay.
And then I would also very much like me some studded leather armor. So I suppose I'll have my measurements taken.
Oh, well, as much as I always love to get hands on, I think Jack here doesn't have that much to do you, Farrell?
Scream last, like, no, I don't.
Other than recovering from a headache still.
It's telling me the things I found, and we're gonna do it. I mean, no, it's fine.
He just jams the pipe back in his mouth, pulls out a measuring tape out of seemingly nowhere, and starts just taking measurements without saying a thing.
Okay.
I'm sure we can have this. Yes, we've got one that might be. Yes, we have a set that I'm sure we could have adjusted to your size. It would take maybe a few hours.
Sure thing.
So it blows a smoke ring.
How about we strike a deal then? I'll buy the armor and those 2 flasks of yours for 70 gold.
I'd say 75, and you've got yourself a deal.
Deal. And I'll shake hands on that.
Yeah, jams his pipe back in his mouth and shakes hand. Okay. So
70 of that's being paid in platinum, because if we're in the one-up country, then we're joining it.
he raises his eyebrow a bit at that. Ah, man with a good taste in coin. I like you.
Aye, it's one of the perks of being an adventurer.
Adventurer, you say?
Well, I didn't just wander off and wind up here wandering out of nowhere, did I?
Well, you found yourself in the finest town there is.
Aye,
Swear to God, this thing.
Is this a self-loathing town?
It's a town motto.
Look at my muscles.
It is the
my
town
God,
motto,
these
you're right.
muscles.
This is narcissism town.
Okay, so, whilst you're doing that, Mathias, Akane, you wander off to have a look sort of around.
I'll catch you back at the library.
Okay.
You wander off looking around the area, that sort of cavern-like area, and you see an elvish woman. An older-looking elvish woman working on a spinning wheel outside. What might be a tailor's shop?
Okay, just gonna walk up there and ask, excuse me ma'am, do you perhaps sell clothes or know someone that does?
Oh, hello there. Yes, of course I do. Tailor in the area. My name's Azariah. It's nice to meet you.
I'm Akane.
Well, what can I do for you? You're a curious
Well,
one.
I'm looking for some fine clothes that would fit me, also with these, and I like point at my tails and wings.
Well, I must say, we don't get many of your kind around here. No offence, of course. They're just... how to put it... They're mostly shorter around here. You know how it is. Sort
Yeah,
of stands
I get
up
it.
from the spinning wheel. Come inside. I'm sure we can find you
some-
something.
It's not something I usually hear, but
Oh, I'm sure you do. Leads you inside. And, yeah, she fumbles around for a bit before pulling out a measuring tape. She's like, if you don't mind, dearie, I'll have to take your measurements. See if we've got
That's
anything
fine.
that'll fit. She starts. Measures you up a bit. Well, it's going to require some modification. You're, as I say, not a normal customer here, but I'm sure we can find something that'll do. Yes, I know. I've got just the thing. Come with me. Just puts some measuring tape on. It's a small counter and leads you past these racks of clothes. Most of them quite coarse-looking, the kind of stuff you'd expect to see a dwarves wear. Coarse, functional, not showing off. Some of them are a bit fancier. And then there are some dresses, of course, in one corner, and there are sort of much more formal-looking suits, kind of like you saw the mayor wearing. And she takes you over to the area, and you find it's kind of, it's not a dress or anything, but it's definitely a more fancy sort of looking get-up, with a fine-looking tunic and a waistcoat and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, I'd imagine a dress being very inconvenient while
Yeah.
adventuring.
And, yeah, what do you think of something like this? It's all white. We can dye it to whatever colour you desire, but I'm sure this will fit. It'll just take a little modification, maybe half an hour.
Looks good, I think, yeah.
Any idea, any preference in colours? I'd say the white would complement your tones, but it might be a bit over the top. Maybe a darker, more earthy tone for you.
That might be good, yeah.
It would go definitely. I think it would be a good juxtaposition with the wings. Yes. And she throws up her hands, and you see that just sort of across the surface of the whole thing, it's kind of on like a hanger, and you see it just sort of this colour bleed into it, and as it wraps around, it becomes this got this earthy like browns and greys and type tones in it. Still looks pretty elegant, but it just gives it sort of a splash of colour, effectively. Something like that? What do you think?
That looks quite good, yeah? I didn't know you did magic.
Oh, of course I do. Everyone does these days. Who learn a
That's
few
true.
tricks. Tricks of the trade. She taps you, reaches up and taps you on the nose with one finger. And everything is pink.
What?
Everything
what?
gets this sort of
Oh.
pink tint over it. She sort of grins to herself.
I-
And then it's gone.
Can I get rid of... Oh, never mind then. Can I prestidigitate her clothes like black?
Mhm.
Prestidigitation also...
Yeah.
Yeah.
what
Can I
she's
do that
using.
to make her clothes black? Like, poof.
Oh,
For,
yeah.
like, a short while.
Yeah, you just click your fingers. And you see this sort of blackness sort of spread over her clothes. Ah, I see you understand the arcane arts as well. Very useful, aren't
Yeah. I also know a couple of tricks. It's very handy to have, yeah.
they? Yes. Well, I'm as close as you're going to get to the town sorcerer, but mostly a tailor. She picks it up. Picks out the suit. Now, this one would be about 15 gold pieces, with the work to make it fit included. How does that sound?
Right.
Reg.
Right.
Rick
What?
is counting.png.
Hmm?
She said,
Rick, are you
Rick,
there?
you there?
Hello.
He
Hello?
just completely zoned out.
She just... Okay. She said it would
Wait,
cost
what?
about 15 gold pieces.
Yeah, I heard that. I
Good
was
work.
talking, but didn't you hear
No,
me?
you weren't.
No.
No,
Oh, you
we
might
don't
be
I-
have
muted.
it, so.
Sure, I was talking. I wasn't muted.
Try again?
We didn't
Question
hear
mark?
shit. He's
Rick?
trying again.
Hello. What?
Hello.
We can hear you now. Talk
What?
now.
What the fuck is going on?
Rick, what have you done?
Rick.
I don't know. Are you
Rick.
guys fucking with me?
No.
Stop.
Do you have, like, push to
No.
talk on?
No.
I can hear him.
Yeah, we can hear him now.
What I said last time was that sounds fair. I said that twice though.
No, we didn't hear that.
Yeah, we never called him.
We never heard that.
Alright.
Not heard that
Oh,
once.
Weird.
that's weird, but
Technical
okay.
problem.
My connection is fine. My mic is fine. My not
It's-
muted.
A UDP, so I might have just dropped the packets.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. Well, she hands you the, No, she doesn't. What am I on about? She takes it over to the counter, puts it down. It's 15 gold then, please. And so, hands
I'll
out.
put 15 gold down.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If you come back in about a half an hour, it'll be ready.
Okay. See you in half an hour then.
See you
And
then.
I'll head back past the blacksmith to see if Mathias already done.
Yeah, Mathias is just finishing up at this point. They're just
Okay.
taking his measurements.
I'll wait for him outside.
Okay. So, Mathias, as you walk out,
Yeah.
Akane is
Oh.
there.
Back already?
Yeah, it's she needs to tailor something to it. Like, starting to get some new clothes, but it needs a bit of
Nice.
modification.
Yeah, I presume as much. But you found us something.
Yeah, it should be
back
done in
to
half an hour.
library. Oh, well, this place is gonna take a few hours, so we're stuck in town, hooray.
Oh, where are you guys
And this
going
time-
to be staying, by the way?
In that time, can I talk to Wakili real quick?
Sure, but let us finish off
Yeah.
the check first.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 minute, and then we're gonna cut away because
Well, I don't know. Tavern, I suppose.
Yeah, because I would like to come with you to Cora.
Well, if we're going there, it's gonna be with a detour, but sure, you're welcome to.
you're
Yeah,
looking to
no,
quit.
just
Looking to quit already, eh, Jack?
yeah, that was the plan with whole going scavenging.
Yeah, but look how that turned out.
Yeah, I got some stuff enough to sell.
Dead friends too, Jesus.
Yeah, as a matter of
Yes.
fact, I think he found something that I was keeping for him.
No, you were. Well,
I
it looks
just-
like you found some very good friends there, Jack.
I just
You
pulled
think-
out the.
Yeah, he
The
winks
fucking
very
gun to show
obviously
off.
at you,
Yes, we need to.
and then is
talk about-
immediately distracted by the gun. Oh my, what is this? That is marvellous. I'll give you about 5 gold for that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big like
I put
shit-eating grin, but yeah.
I put it back. Just for safekeeping.
Well, Jack, looks like your friends are willing to assist you in this stupid notion of yours, if I don't mind saying so myself.
A stupid notion, excuse me.
Well, he's leaving the best town on earth.
That's
They were
just
going
the
to-
town motto. It doesn't.
And then he's coming with us to the best train on earth.
Yeah, might be
Exactly.
the town motto, but most of us believe it. On Thursdays.
A razor line power at that.
real question is, what happens on a Thursday?
You don't
Yeah.
know.
You don't
And what's
know.
different on a Thursday than a Friday? Because I mean, on a Friday it's
It's
truly
Wednesday. Don't stick around. It's Wednesday
Stick
now.
around.
I don't remember what day it
It is
was.
Wednesday,
It's now
my dudes.
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, my dude.
Stop yourself. Well, I suppose,
ready?
Jack, you'll be wanting off early then.
Yeah, I'll come back to pick up the armor later. By the way, if you want something on your hips that's not very awkward, there's an elf in our company. He might be down for that.
Gives you a sort of questioning look. Darling,
We did not expect
I'm
that.
married.
So what's the bartender?
And she would.
But
Yet
she
you
did. She
were-
tried anyway.
Yet you were sizing up my student.
I would
Trust.
never do such a thing.
Paul,
But
She would
Trust.
literally be.
Can I
Why can
invite
this guy be the barkeep?
Trust me. Isa would never allow it.
Yeah, she would literally eat
Yeah.
you alive.
Rep.
Yes, it's quite possible that she would, actually.
Mm-hmm.
drow?
Hmm?
Is she a drow?
So, no. Wait,
No.
what's it? Who are you inciting,
Drows are
Akane?
I wanted to inside to the fucking blacksmith.
Oh, no, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
I saw it. You described it to me.
You sure just getting jealous over there?
Wait, he actually he did?
No,
I-
he wasn't sizing up
must-
Akane.
I totally must have fucking missed that. Just
Yeah.
like the inside.
He wasn't
No,
sizing
You
up
didn't miss
Akane.
anything. Gav just made things up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Anyway,
already
Size
wondering.
something up.
because I wasn't sure.
anyway. Yeah, oh, he sized something up, just wasn't Akane. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I suppose you'll be wanting off early, eh, Jack?
I can finish the armor. You restock on ammo and then sell stuff and then, yeah. Well, I have to do the.
Very well. Well,
Well, we're gonna go check out the library.
sign yourself
Well,
out
there.
when this is done,
We'll
eh?
probably be at the bar tonight.
Yeah. Say hello to Jeff for me.
Sorry?
Who said?
Library. Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
will do.
Of course, Akane wouldn't know that, but
Well, she
Oh.
was there.
actually, she could have easily heard it,
Yeah,
even
she-
if she
she
was
did.
staying in the library because, yeah,
Yeah. You definitely heard that.
yeah.
So, as you two head off to the library, we will cut to Pandal and... No, we won't. We will cut to Wakili and Vesztel. First.
Okay. Vesztel, she's kind of like just drinking some water at this point, and she's like,
I
"What
thought more
happened
wine.
last night?" No, she drank it all. She's not buying another one of those.
Yeah. She doesn't know
I
the
think
price
they have
though.
another one of those.
Those were expensive.
Yeah, you don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, put it on my tab.
So, you are talking to Wakili whilst drinking water.
Yeah. Is Wakili here?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "What happened last night?"
You got drunk, I think that's pretty obvious, and proceeded to go outside for, I guess, a bit of fresh air. As you did so, I don't know what happened, but you started to see something and mentioned you needed to find your brother. And something about things you needed to find him, and you said he was dead, but you needed to find him, and then you started looking around, and the next thing I know, you start sprinting out of what I guess was fear for some reason.
When I was younger, my little brother died. I've been trying to find a way to bring him back or talk to him at least.
I'm sorry to hear. I wish I could help you more, but I do not know much about speaking with the dead.
I think it's time for me to leave. I need to go find him. Find a way to talk to him.
I don't know if it's wise for you to go alone.
But I can't stay here.
I know you. You're good in a fight, and you know when to back off. Just do me a favor. If you get too deep in over your head, come find me, okay? I'll help.
Okay. She's also gonna hand you the laser rifle out of her bag. You guys might need this.
Thank you, I say, as I put it away.
And I think at that, Vessel's gonna walk out of the bar and head out of the town.
So, with that, a few words of goodbye. Vesztel stands up from the bar, takes one last look around, opens the door, walks out, and makes her exit.
To make it more dramatic, she uses the glyph of warding, and she just goes invisible and disappears.
Wonder what you could do with that. Charitable once on fucking Nav.
Walk into the sunset, maybe. We don't know.
Mm. And as Vesztel opens the door, steps outside, pulls out a dagger, places her thumb against the thing, and her form shivers and disappears. Slightly slower than you would expect for a invisibility spell. Shimmers and disappears and you just see footsteps in the dirt walk away and then disappear as she walks off the track.
That was Vessel's story.
Well,
For now.
Well, rip.
maybe we'll encounter Vesztel later on, but for now, thanks for playing with us, Luke.
Yeah. Hope to see you again in the campaign.
Mm.
I'm gonna hop off now. See you guys later.
Catch you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Miss
cheerio.
you. Actually sad about that. God damn.
Yeah, it sucks.
Mm. Unfortunately,
Still shady.
unfortunately, real
Fuck's
life
sake.
things are getting in the way, and Luke won't be able to play with us anymore. But
Shame.
yeah, but
I mean, rest in plot Yeti.
Rest in plot.
But we will switch back over to Pandal and Archie cooking. What is Keely going to do after that?
While Keely, after all that mess, is gonna walk up to the bar, ask for a bottle of whiskey, and just start drinking.
2
Day
gold?
drinking like a boss.
Okay then.
How much
Giving
does
me
it cost?
Scottish.
2 gold.
I performed for these people, come on.
And he just like goes, takes a big, and he's just sitting alone.
I mean, yeah, but also one of the people in your party just seriously insulted them. And also they already have a bard. It's the one place this isn't going to work.
Of course it is.
It's also the one place with the really good alcohol, so...
That's why I purchased 3 bottles.
So, with that, we'll switch over to Sauriv and Pandal as you decide to go look through the streets and the
I
town.
was gonna ask the bartender first.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Would you RP this, or should we just speed it up for sake of expediency? Because I feel like we're going.
Sure, speed up.
I was going to ask about a generic kind of arcanist, magic-y person who knows shit about shit, and any, along with any kind of like healery person of the magical persuasion rather than herbalism.
Taylor.
Both work.
So, he tells you that Jeff is the one to talk to about any kind of knowledge and books and that kind of stuff, and gives you directions.
Gives me directions. So
Um,
Pandal will memorize those, but I'm lazy.
Yeah. Well, it's literally just out, and then it's the 4th door on the right.
Okay.
on the left even. He also
Jeff.
points you at the tailor and tells you Azariah is a sorcerer and that she knows a bit about just magic in general. And he will also point you at Izo, the blacksmith's wife, and says that she knows a lot about healing and that kind of stuff.
Okay. I mean, Sauriv, you coming with? You got any preference?
Wherever you go, I go.
Making this difficult. We'll go see the healer lady first. We'll go
Alright.
see.
Oh.
Izo.
He gives you the directions to the tavern. Not tavern. Wrong word. Cavern. And as you walk past and you see Mathias talking to a bookshelf through a door. You just sort of walk past.
Do I recognise that's the place where Jeff is meant to be?
Yeah, you see Mathias talking to a bookshelf. Or... That's what you see. You assume there's someone in there that's out of sight, you can't see him, but you're like, oh, so Mathias is talking to Jeff.
Is he talking to... I mean, if he's talking to books, it kind of adds up, doesn't it? He's well into books.
Yeah, I don't think he was that into them though.
Akane's also there, looking a little bit confused.
Don't want to know how into books he is, to be honest. We just keep going.
So you take the next door on the left down, and then you take another door on the left that should lead you kind of into the tavern, but it doesn't, and then you take 3 more rights, because it's the directions you got, and you come out in this cavern. Which again, it should be somewhere that there was already stuff, and there isn't. You're not sure what that's about.
Antechamber, the dean.
It does, yeah, it's kind of how it feels. It doesn't make any sense. But you just sort of like don't care. Don't question it, I assume. It's just like, you were told to follow this. Maybe your sense of direction's a little bit off.
Yeah, I have 9 intelligence. I'm just like, this is...
You're none the wiser.
This is fine.
Yeah, I don't care, and he's an idiot, so it's fine.
Yeah. Pandal's like, maybe I'm getting confused or something, or I don't know, maybe magic.
I'm not worried about it.
This Sauriv's like, yes, a cavern, let's go. As you walk in,
Pretty much.
you see the tailor shop where Azariah is working away on a spinning wheel outside. And you also see the blacksmith, which is where your instructions go sort of around the back of the blacksmith, and there's a kind of stairway that leads sort of up out of the cavern. You're told to go up there, and you head up that way. And you find this, another small, natural-looking cavern, this one much smaller, that appears to be absolutely covered in plants. There's grass growing in there. There is even a small tree in the middle. No natural sunlight. There is something in the ceiling that's glowing. But it appears to be entirely artificial. And in the centre, under the tree, tending to some of the plants, there is what appears to be an elvish woman that has almost bits of a dragon stuck to her. She has wings like a dragon. She has scales running up her arms and up her legs, and got horns on her head, and
Damn, she high level.
somewhat slightly clawed hands, but not too much, you know? It appears to be still functioning just fine. And next to her, there is a human woman who is also just... Sorry, not a human woman, an elvish woman, who is also just working away, tending to some of the plants.
And Scale Lady's just like sitting there.
They're both tending to the plants.
Okay,
Effectively, the pure elvish woman, the normal one, appears to be directing the other one. She appears like maybe slightly older. If she were human, it'd be like in her 30s, and the other one's maybe 16. But they look kind of elvish, so you can't really tell.
Okay. I would like to go up to her, being very careful not to step on any untoward grass, plants, etc.
There is a path of stones laid out in front of you that you can walk on.
I'll take the. I won't be difficult. I'll take the path of stones.
Yeah, but it's
to the directorial lady.
I'll follow, but I would be very careful.
She gives you a bit of a distasteful look as she sees you approaching, Sauriv. Hello there.
I'm not intentionally trying to destroy stuff.
Yeah, but you're just Sauriv.
At your opening line. Hello there. I'm not trying to ruin your things. Just
You have
happens.
a giant goth two-handed greatsword on your back, and you just walked through her plans. She's not. She's a little bit. Oh god. And she looks up at you. Oh, hello there. How can I help you?
Hello, ma'am. I don't suppose you are
Easily.
available for a short Q&A session. Well, I've been
I'm sorry.
direct. I've been
I don't know what you mean.
questions and answers. Oh, it's probably an awful thing.
Yes, of course.
I've
can I
heard
help?
there's you heal in some kind of magical methods.
I can, yes, when needed.
Okay. That'll be a good start. That's who I'm looking for.
Do you need help? Are you injured?
Not last time I noticed. I'm bruising a bit on the head, but that's beside the point. Very bad hangover. Long story. Do you know anything about do you do normal healing? I assume. Do you know anything about like undead kind of healing?
At that, the other ones stops what she's doing and looks at you as well. And they both look at you somewhat, a little bit taken aback. What do you mean?
I understand, kind of a weird
undead
question, but it's the
healing?
sort of thing I ask about a lot.
Crosses her arms. You seek to raise the dead?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've never heard it done, like, properly. Not as, like, mindless slaves as, like, the people they were, kind of deal.
Yes.
Mindless slaves, I can, I'm gonna, like, make a very subtle gesture towards Sauriv, but, like, as a joke.
You see the,
I don't
the
know,
younger,
flash him a smile.
the younger looking draconic one giggles a bit at that. And
So he was dumb as a doorstop. Stop.
let me just roll a thing.
Whoosh.
That's a 23 on an insight check.
Motherfucker.
Trying to.
What is she?
She's inciting you, Vom. Vom.
What? What is she trying to see
Pandal.
through?
Just. What the hell? Why are you raising the dead? What's your deal here? She's trying to
What is
figure
my
out.
deal here?
I mean, I know, but she's trying to figure out what you're up to.
I'm not trying to do it nefariously. She probably can figure that out.
Mm.
Both from the fact that I'm
She got a
pretty
plus
small,
15?
unassuming halfling.
Holy fuck.
A loved one, then, I would assume.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you have my sympathy. Can definitely empathise with that one.
I assume your sympathy and not your expertise that you know exactly how to do sort of deal, because you don't know. Do you know? It'd be really nice if you just told me, if you did know.
I do know of ways. I also know that it hasn't been done in 1,000 years.
Well see, it's like, we're overdue, is my personal opinion. Isn't that right, Sauriv?
Yes it is, yeah.
Yeah, we're
I know.
overdue. Reeve here keeps the schedules, and he says we're overdue for some resurrection. I'd like to hear everything you have to say on the topic.
What schedules am I keeping?
You're keeping the resurrection schedule, Sauriv. Ones you're very good at bookkeeping.
We have one of those?
Yes. Like this is why it hasn't happened.
Wait
for
a minute.
1,000 years.
Wait a minute. We have books?
Yeah, Mathias. He's not great at keeping the schedule, hence 1,000 years, like none of this. I need all the information you have on it. We're trying to catch up. Got a bit of a backlog to get through.
Oh. God.
Glorious.
Take
Oh,
yourself
I
an
have to roll here.
inspiration.
I feel like there's a roll here.
First of all, persuasion. With advantage, and give yourself an inspiration.
I've already got one.
So do I.
That's a shame, because I want to give you another one, but...
Come on.
You essentially just ratted me out, mate.
You have a book. Dude, chill.
I have a
Okay.
book, yes.
So does
Okay,
Jeff.
Okay.
Jeff has a couple of books.
Stop.
Nature.
Oh, okay. Yes, well, I'm afraid the last time it was attempted didn't go so well. That was not a sad. It was a sad day.
Okay. Hey, I get the whole cryptic thing. I'm really here for the elaboration on this one.
Yes, I know. Shut up.
Shut up, let me backstory.
The Shattered would be where you're looking. The Shattered. The destroyed, the ravaged, whatever you want to call it. The damaged islands. The broken islands. They have many names. I suppose you know north of here, somewhere? North, east,
I'm
perhaps?
vaguely aware, yes, I believe.
There are a number of islands, destroyed in some great catastrophe long ago. It is said that there are ruins there that are ancient even to the people who built Korea.
She's not specifying.
Sauriv.
I mean,
You,
I'd assume it's not Vilnius?
it's the other one. Yeah,
Or is it?
you know it's the one
Yeah.
that's not Furnace.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah, I didn't think it was.
I think it's the these ones, isn't it?
That, if you look for a way to raise the dead, would be where it is found. Although, I do warn you, it shouldn't be undertaken lightly.
I mean, I'm kind of light by nature, but I'll put all the weight I can on it.
I'm good at that.
Yeah. Again, he's good at this kind of resurrection luck.
I'm beginning to doubt that.
So, the ended sadly. I'd like all the information on that.
Well,
Did everyone die? Was there did it magically manifest trains? Is that why the flux exists? Who knows?
Oh.
So tell me.
it was a woman in perhaps her mid-20s, human, I think, came to me one day, near 1,000 years ago now, looking for a way to revive.
Wait, how old is she?
What a bit.
Looking to...
Starts counting on his fingers.
Push his fingers down, you're not so hot on the numbers, just be quiet.
looking to revive her boyfriend, husband? I think it was husband. It's been a long time. At the time, I couldn't really empathise, but it was something I hadn't tried before. I took the challenge. Unfortunately, what we needed was one slightly difficult to acquire. A little bit of bartering here and there, a few different planes of existence, and we managed to complete a ritual. She was killed in the process. And he ended up with both souls.
It was technically resurrected though, right?
Holy hell.
Yes, technically he was.
And they're got to chat still, so it's
Well, they were driven insane and we had to...
I mean, I'm pretty much halfway there already, so we're doing okay.
You can see on her face that she is not happy with this memory. Not a memory she enjoys. And
She could tell from me that I really want to push her on this. I'm going to.
Yes, it's technically resurrected. I believe, after spending 100 years trying to figure out what went wrong, that her soul was simply not strong enough and couldn't resist the pull of the other side. So, if you do try it, you must be careful.
Oh, as you can see, me and my companion are only ever careful. Now, you mentioned a ritual and cross-planar components.
Yes.
Do you remember those? It seems like the sort of thing you wouldn't forget very quickly.
Yes, yes. There was parts from the plane of darkness and the plane of light. You required the heart of a dragon. The heart of a dragon of dark. And we required the essence of a light dragon.
Ah,
Okay, so when you said not easy to acquire, you weren't kidding.
No, well, easier for some.
Of course.
Yeah.
Is that like it? Is there...
There
you
are
have to
more mundane ingredients.
like do like a gesture like yes, I want a list, exact amount, what candle orientation. I need all the information here.
Pandal, you
You are
sure
certainly
about this?
pushing this one,
I
aren't
am
you?
entirely certain about this, Sauriv.
Who is she?
Excuse me?
Who is she?
That is not a thing I'm going to answer. Now, can you please tell me the components?
No.
Okay. I was gonna pay you after this anyway. Do you want your payment up front?
You see the other one, the draconic one, just... Oh, God.
The point a finger over to the one who's like, oh god, without unlocking my eyes from the one I'm talking to.
Don't talk to her about gold.
Okay, I was going platinum, but that's fine. Components, please.
You could see just this look in her eyes, this sort of torn look of, oh, gold. And also, don't really want to tell you this.
Oh wait, I can see
Roll
that she wants
persuasion.
the gold, right?
Yeah,
Pull out a platinum piece.
roll persuasion with advantage.
Oh yeah.
Dickhead.
Oh no.
Come on, big money.
Ooh. Still 19.
Yeah, she's rolling, I guess, a wisdom save against that.
I didn't know these things.
All the NPCs are like plus shit in this town.
It's like a super druid though, so. She's an elf, and she's a druid, so she lives for like ever.
Yeah.
Fuck!
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
That was rolling for crits, and we nearly got there.
Holy shit.
Okay, we are in fact battering with a demigod.
She's old and therefore very wise.
I mean, yeah.
She looks at the platinum piece in your hand, and you can see just for a moment this sort of greedy look cross her face, and then it's gone. She hide. No. Tell me who she is. Sauriv. Not Sauriv. Pandal. Oh, is it charisma for suggestion? I think it's charisma saving throw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it wisdom?
Saving throw.
I think it's wisdom.
Is it?
I think it's one actually suggestion. I have it. I can check.
Yeah, just stick a cult spell card in.
Oh yeah, I can just spell card it, can't I? I'm smart.
Wisdom save. Sorry.
Wisdom save. I'll
Okay.
roll a wisdom saving throw.
DC ridiculous.
That's one.
Yeah, you're all.
No.
I assume that
Yeah.
doesn't beat a DC 25.
No, it doesn't.
Her name is Realtor.
And who is she to you?
Was my wife.
She nods. I understand. Very well. And she opens up what appears to be a bag of holding, pulls out a list, and hands it to you.
Okay. I take the list.
What languages do you speak?
Literally just common and halfling.
Don't understand it.
A list of shit I don't understand. Great.
Sauriv, what do you speak?
Common Draconic.
And Dwarven.
And
that.
Dwarven.
Yeah, and Dwarven.
Add that, yeah, add that to your proficiencies.
Yeah, I keep
Yep,
forgetting.
Sauriv, you do read this. You recognise it, that's Draconic.
Yes!
Oh my
The
god.
idiot is the only person that
Oh,
understands.
Sauriv, I love you. You're the best wingman.
This is very glorious.
You do note on it, Heart of a Shadow Dragon, Essence of a Light Dragon are the first two ingredients on the list, and then everything else is like mundane looking stuff.
Oh.
It's conclusive. I want to make very sure this
Yes.
is conclusive list. And there's no like weird kind of like I have to sacrifice 14 children.
Do you think I would attempt such a ritual if it were the case?
I mean, I'm just checking. It's good to check these things.
Take this. She reaches into the bag again, pulls out a stone, and hands it to you.
Take the stone.
It's a
I
sanding
mean, what's
stone.
it look like? Okay.
It's just a small pebble with a rune carved onto it that glows ever so faintly red, the rune. Contact me before you try it.
How much before? Like
Like
right before,
so
or like?
that I can come and see. Just let me be.
Okay. I shall do that.
Trust
Thank
me,
you.
you'll need my help if it goes wrong.
You know, I'm kind of hoping that this really doesn't go wrong. Because
So
death,
am I.
while, you know, I guess double souls, like whatever, really not my cup of tea. But anyway, anything we could do for you, I mean, I can pay you. In fact, I'm going to pay you because you've been a massive help. Any, like, chores you need doing? Like, you know, things need killing, maybe?
You see, the
Actually,
draconic one just face palms again.
Don't give me that. I'm trying to...
You
Debt
have,
of gratitude here, quite important to me. May have noticed.
you have no idea who she is, do you?
I have no fucking clue, but she has the information I want, and
can
that's
tell.
why I'm eternally grateful.
The more gold you give her, the happier she'll be. And then she's immediately sort of just clipped over the forehead by the older one that you're talking to.
So yeah, flux dragons need sweeping up. Like, what do you need?
Flux dragons? Why?
Oh yeah, we met one of them. It ran away. It was the whole thing.
What did it look like?
It was big, orange, kind of like a dragon.
Gives you a fucking really kind of look.
I give her a yes, really kind of look.
Anything interesting about it? Is it just an orange dragon?
Had like a bunch of eyes. They opened, and sometimes it was different colors, and it went like we couldn't. It was like it was all misty, and like we couldn't really like see it, but it was also kind of there, and like I think a dagger went through it at some point. I don't.
Thank you, that is actually more helpful. That's
See, I'm really trying here.
new. Yes, we'll have to deal with that. You said something about money.
I did say something about money. I'm gonna pull out 10 platinum and hand it to her.
You can see her eyes just sort of light up. And she takes it, puts it in the bag of holding. Thank you.
Rolled a death save by accident as I tried to scroll up.
She claws you across the face and you die.
I die. Have the spell list!
Is there anything
so
else you require?
No, I'm actually splendid. Thank you. Sauriv?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh, okay, I was off. Okay, never mind. Let's go. Thank you very much. And I
Thank
will.
you. And the two of them sort of go back to tending the flowers.
And once once Pandal has left the building, I'm going to say, I forgot something. Give me a moment. I'm going to go back in.
Oh, okay. I'll wait here.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna walk up to the old woman, and I'm just gonna ask,
Stands up and looks at you kind of curiously.
do you think he's strong enough?
I don't know. He's definitely determined. Although maybe he'd watch his words. But he seems ignorant.
Determination don't get you nowhere if you've not got the arm to carry it somewhere.
Unless you're playing Undertale.
She just pats you on the nose. Wrong kind of strength, my friend.
Well, I know what I'm talking about.
I'm sure
I'm
you do.
worried about him. I don't know what I can do, but
I don't know what you can do either.
just gonna
Keep an eye on him.
walk out.
Okay then.
Frustrated with my
As
fucking
he comes out,
stupidity.
I'm gonna be like, you know, I can just heal you for free, right? You don't have to. Never mind. Let's go.
And with that, I think we're going to end for tonight.
Oh boy, next session's gonna be fun.
That was
Oh,
a
it is.
session.
That was a session.
Yeah, that was a
The
session.
drama
So-
at the end
Session.
there.
Jesus.
Holy
She's
hell.
1,000
had-
years old.
Guys, before we get into the theory crafting, we're going to switch over to the outro. So, thanks for watching.
Catchy Pistachi.
Thanks for watching this episode of Aftermath. Hit the like button down below if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more. Be sure to click the little bell icon if you want notifications when new episodes are released. In the description down below, you can find links to Mike's channel, where he, Luke, and some of their friends play Shadowrun Paranoia, and a link to Vom's channel, where you can find the stay list of memes. You can also find a link to our website, where you can find the tabletop role-playing game I'm writing called Starships and Laserguns, which will be playing on this channel soon. There's also a link to my Patreon, which supports the development of Starships and Laserguns by helping to pay for the website and allowing me to commission artwork. We'll see you in the next episode.